develop. Next is this map. Whatever we do on a map that has 10 different dimensions. And those 10 dimensions are based on simple combinations of the 4 things that make up our world. People make up our world. Then things. Things are anything that's tangible that's not a person. So dogs, cats, trees, oceans, elements are all things. And then there's money. Money is unique in the world because it's the only substance in the universe that will not work unless there's 2 people. Money, clothes keep us warm, the sun still shines, food still will nourish us as we eat, and everything else, we can talk to ourselves, we can feel still as an individual, but we have nothing we can do with money unless there's 2 people. So crucial that it needs its own category in order to complete what in very high level terms is called ontology of modern life. And then energy is our energy inside, electrochemical energy, electromagnetism. Some will go back and forth about gravity being energy, but there's strong forces, weak forces, and these are what make up our world. We are balls of energy. We're human structures, human creatures. We have energy inside. Our skin is just like a house for all of our nerve endings. If all of our nerve endings were lit up, we'd look like a candlestick, or we'd look like a Christmas tree that's just full of little points of light. And inside our brains, everything is firing. So there's all kinds of activity going on there with energy. Our structures are pretty much the same. There are some differences. But what isn't the same is the way we learn to process that energy. It can fire in many, many different ways. The 10 combinations of are people and energy, which is us every day. Then people and money, it's about marginal utility, that the first donut we eat is usually much more valuable to the eater, to the individual person, than the 10th donut they eat. And then there's people and things. We transform things. That's what we do. Why do we transform them? To stay alive, to keep the system going, and for many other reasons. So to be creative, to make things what we would consider more beautiful, more hospitable. And then we also have people and people, which includes language, mathematics, and sociology and history, and the history of humanity. So when you start mixing them together, that's what you get. If you want to be an expert in people, you'll understand this role, how people relate to other people, how people relate to money, things, and to the internal energy. If you want to be an expert on things, you'll understand about how people and things mix. You'll understand about the things themselves, the oceans, the cosmos, the elements. You'll understand about things that can be money, like gold and silver and paper and Bitcoin and bits. And you'll understand about things and energy. I go into the entire piece in the book, but once you know how you're moving, you can understand how I've created these maps. These maps are things. So I've taken the things and then I'm communicating them to people. So that's a different set of skills. And then I have to show the value to people. Once I show the value of these things to people and how it helps to transform their lives, then I can actually put a price on it and say things and money. And this is the way business is done. But there's a little different skills in each, and you can see exactly where you're moving and how to go from there. Finally, the area of our mind, our consciousness, our focus. And I bring together the ideas of artificial intelligence, of neuroscientists, of mathematicians, and I show that what we know right now, consciousness is a matter of the total awareness and a single focus. We focus on 5 different areas. In these 5 areas, it's interesting, Oxford University in 1920 started the PP&E program that did some of this integration. They're still going, and this is in addition to that. Philosophy, politics, and economics. But here we start with our physical awareness. Our physical awareness is of our body, of what's going on inside of us. It's our feelings and our perceptions, and it's our understanding, the way we put together our life world in our minds. And it's about ethics in philosophy, because ethics is always about our physical body. It's always about how can we live longer, how can we live better, how can everybody live longer and better, and what can our relationship be that'll make that happen. And that is the standard for ethics, is about life. Some extend it to animals. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, I'm just saying that that's what's going on. They're extending that to animals when it comes to humane treatment of animals. So we think about it, and how to think about it is a mental activity. How do we know what we know? That's epistemology, and our minds are about cause and effect, time, probabilities, other variables that's set in there. We're always going through this way of recognizing, checking, triangulating information to make sure that it all makes sense from every way that we possibly can. Those are internal. Then we go to external, and we get to the social area. We have a social consciousness where we're aware of the norms, of the values, of how money is treated in a society, of the religious overtones of that society, and the majority ideas in that group. It also includes education, culture in general, and this is politics, so it's political philosophy, and that's a big part. These three are our general life world we're born into, with our family, our community, our nation, and it doesn't necessarily extend to the globe, but it's starting to extend to the globe. These three levels of consciousness are very connected. The fourth is metaphysics. It's not so connected. It's something that we're always learning about. It's the unknown. Instead of religion, it's spirit. Instead of known, it's unknown. It's dark matter. It's dark energy. It's the other percentages of the universe that we don't know anything about. And we're always exploring in that, for those who are comfortable making those kind of explorations. And it's adds to this area. But how does it do that? And that's the area of this little line of creativity. Art and science, we know, are one, because art is a science, and science can be very artistic. They're different in some ways, but they have the same goal, to bring something back to make us consider our world in a different way. And so it takes from the unknown and brings to the known. As it does that, it has to cross the barrier of the status quo, pass the social filters, or get past them. It has to work in cause and effect and have some sort of mental, logical, or at least some way of being acceptable and provable. And then finally, it has to make a difference in our physical world. Those are the four maps. We're always going around our motion and our goals and our movement, and we're moving sometimes in resistance. Here we can find some resistance. We're also moving across many different dimensions. I've told you the 10, that's it. You now know that, and now you see how we think. Now I want to add one more piece, that I am a monist. I believe things are unified. So the brain and the mind are connected. The brain is the organic structure, the mind is the way we transfer and filter and construct the information flows. So the brain is to paint, as mind is to art, and we create our world. These four maps surround us, and there isn't anything else. And as they surround us, we create them, and they reflect back to us. Let me help you with that. Let me help you with the specific applications. But this big picture isn't immediate, except you've seen it for the first time here. The implications are huge, and it does make a difference on every level. Thank you very much. I look forward to working with you. Give me a call at your convenience, 917-455-8646. Have a great day. Thank you.